Loving what is. I'm Marina, the Trader Chick Vila Toro, and I'm going to do the book review today on Byron Katie's book, Loving What Is. So if there are any books that every human is obligated or it's a mandatory read, this is the book. This book will change everything about the way you see things, the way you think, the way you do everything in an amazing, amazing, amazing way. It will free you from the bondages that we put our minds through. I would love to get into this book, but I don't want to take away from the power of her telling this book, right? There are 4 questions that she asks that will completely change your life. So I have absolutely no affiliation with this woman. I have read this book at least 3 or 4 times, and every time there is a new realization. Those 4 questions, you don't even need to ask them all. Honestly, I mean, obviously, excuse me, all 4 are really important, and she digs deeper with a few more questions in there. I sometimes get a completely new perspective and a new change in everything after the first question. I'm not going to give you that question because you need to read this book. And actually, you could get all this information for free from her website, thework.org, I think it is. I don't even know how to express the importance of this book. This woman was completely depressed. She was in a halfway house. I mean, she was, and it just dawned on her these 4 questions when she was, I think, in her mid 40s, right? Since then, she has been traveling the world simply sharing her message and expressing this. And this message has changed so many lives. It's one of the most powerful messages you will ever experience. Please go and get this book. I have read it several times. I have listened to it. You get the same effect. Some books you really need to read and write, and highlight. You could get the same effect. Actually, probably it's even more powerful when you hear it because she has a lot of examples of how she uses these questions with the real person. So in the book, you read the transcripts, but it's in the audiobook, you could hear her talk about it and with that particular person. And it's mind-blowing. If you could get those 4 questions into your life, however, even if it happens once a week, be prepared to truly wake up and to stop with these ridiculous thoughts that we have, because all of these thoughts that we have are useless. They're pointless. They have stopped us from doing so much in our lives. Please get this book. Get this book. One of the most popular sayings for me, one of my favorite sayings, I should say, in the book is, you can never teach a cat to bark. It will still meow. And that's what she talks about. That's the fundamental idea for her, is loving what is. Okay, we all want to be in what should be or how it should be and what if, but it's right here. This is it. We cannot pretend that it's something else. We cannot teach a dog to meow. We cannot teach a cat to bark. So no matter how hard we try, it will never happen. And this is the essence of what she talks about, is loving what is. And that happens through the 4 questions that she asks, right? And it just brings you back to reality and loving what is. Loving what is. So I will give you a little spoiler. She also talks about 3 really important things that she talks about. It's about business, right? You cannot get into someone else's business, because if you're getting into their business, you're not in your business. And also the world, right? You cannot worry if there is going to be an earthquake or a storm. Those are things you cannot at all control. That's what's called loving what is. So if there's a storm, you love what is because you deal with what is happening right now, not, oh my God, I cannot believe we had a storm. Why is there a storm? We have it. The storm is here. So you could, waste your time and energy screaming, why is it happening? Or you could take the good energy and focus on what's here right now and dealing with what is. Those are just tiny little spoilers. I don't want to get into more because you need to read this book. You need to read this book. This is an obligatory book that every single human should read. Probably it's a good idea to start at the age of 15. I'm not sure if a younger child could fully understand the book, but I think from 15 and older, yes, they can. So I'm waiting until my oldest, who's 12 right now, is able to understand more of the concepts, but I talk about it all the time with him. Not exactly in the way she says it, but in loving what is, loving this moment, loving and understanding this is the situation. So we deal with the situation. We don't pretend it's a different situation. We don't agonize why isn't it the situation we wanted it to be, because it's a waste of time, right? So right now, right here, this is what the moment is, and how am I going to deal with it is up to me. And I could love it or I could hate it. So either way, it's still going to be the same situation. And honestly, this is one of the most revolutionary books I've ever read in my life. And please read it. Please read this book. I'm Marina, the Trader Chick Vila Toro, and I want to hear how this book has affected you. I want to hear that you have read it. So please comment below. Let me know that you have read it. Let me know if you have seen her other stuff, if you have had any experience with her. I would love to know more from you. And subscribe to my channel for more reviews and more information like this.